Hey everybody, I'm Connor, that's Doug, and this is the Bethel School District Presents podcast, and we have a fantastic show for you this week. We've taken a little field trip out to Cougar Mountain Middle School. We're talking with science teacher extraordinaire Kim Williams, along with two of her students, Zoe and Annabelle, who are members of this school's amazing science club. So we have a lot of questions about that. But first, you know how we do it. We do useless trivia around here. So, Doug, why don't you start us out? And given that we're talking science, why don't you give us a sciencey one?
I absolutely will. I love that you said we're on a field trip out here because the Science Club here at Cougar Mountain does some amazing field trips. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And Connor, my useless trivia, I'm phrasing in the form of a question a la Jeopardy. So, Kim, I'm going to direct this to you. If you were to put every human on one side of a scale and every ant on the other, which would weigh more?
Ants.
Ants. It's a good guess. I will tell you my fact, which is coming to you from the National Academy of Sciences. We used to think that ants outweighed us, but humans have reclaimed the title. Ants are only 20% of the biomass of all humans combined. That said, on Earth, and this is disturbing, there are 20 quadrillion ants. And about half of those are in my kitchen right now.
That is disturbing, and I've been in your kitchen. I've seen it. It's a mess. Moving on. Kim, what is your useless trivia?
Which animal fingerprints are not easy to tell apart from human fingerprints?
I think I actually know that. I don't want to spoil. I'm gonna spoil it. Koala bears?
Yeah, you spoiled it, but that's okay. They're the only non-primates to have fingerprints that they found so far. In science, we always try to be flexible with that because there's always new information that's found. And my source is from Nova.
Okay.
And also PBS.
That's a trustworthy source. We'll take it. Annabelle, moving on to you. What's your useless science trivia?
My useless science trivia, and I think this is actually really interesting, is that a shark has 0 bones, and I got that from the Natural History Museum.
Is it because they're all made of cartilage? Is that maybe what it is? Okay. See, we're pretty sciencey over here, I think. You knew the koala bears. I was going to guess raccoons for yours, Kim.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
But yeah, that is interesting about sharks. Yikes. Zoe, over to you. What is your useless trivia?
My useless trivia is that a human blood vessel could circle the Earth 4 times, and I got this from BBC Science.
Interesting. It could circle the Earth 4 times for one human blood vessel?
Yeah, like in all your body.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do with that. These are really freaking me out. Connor, round us out here. What's your useless trivia?
All right, Douglas, I'm going to finish strong here. Did you know that a day on the planet Venus is actually longer than a year on the planet Venus? And that seems impossible, right? I get you. So a day is the time it takes a planet to complete one full rotation on its axis, while a year is the time it takes the planet to complete one full orbit around the sun. As it turns out, Venus spins so slowly that it takes about 243 of our Earth days to rotate once, but only 225 Earth days to orbit the sun. So that's pretty good, right?
I guess good if you're thinking about your birthdays, or maybe not. I don't know. Let's get on with the show. Kim Williams, science teacher extraordinaire here at Cougar Mountain Middle School. You teach 6th grade science and have been heading up the school's science club for the past 10 years, a decade of amazing activities. We see it come across our Facebook page basically on the weekly, and you guys do a lot of amazing field trips. Our first question for you actually is, what are you doing right here? How is your science club really going above and beyond? Is it local partnerships? Is it work you're putting in behind the scenes? What is the chemistry that is making this such a huge success? And before you answer, Zoe has her hand up.
Can I answer?
Absolutely, please do.
We partner with Nisqually, and we help the salmon, and we go down to like Muck Creek, and we test the water and plant, and then we like dissect our salmon, like that's dead already, and then we go and toss dead salmon back into the rivers so the like ecosystem can keep going. And like behind the scenes, me and Annie, we work and like fundraisers. We sell drinks and stuff.
At the dances, we like sell and make drinks, which I think does help in the background a lot, so we can go and do these amazing field trips.
I love that. Thank you for jumping in. That's good. Kim, follow that up.
So when I first started teaching at Cougar Mountain, the Nisqually River Education Project, they get different grants through NOAA and different places around the United States. And their mission is to basically go in and help restore local ecosystems and to really educate the youth about what's happening in their local environments, how they can make a difference and how the salmon population really does affect us in more ways than we think. We also partner with local places like the Morse Preserve, this volunteer organization, and they let us come onto their property. We're testing water there for water quality, things that are affecting our salmon. The students do that in the fall. They do it again in the spring to compare data, and that data gets reported to the state. We usually go to something called Green Congress, and they present their findings, and we get to compare. It's called the State of the Waters, so it's like our school compared to other schools around the state of Washington. And so we're able to see how the watershed from Mount Rainier is able to like affect so many different schools in so many different places. We also do additional projects like tree planting, which helps repair the riparian zone so that our waters stay cool for the salmon. We also, like Zoe mentioned, we go and we throw dead salmon, which sounds a little bit morbid, into the water, back into the rivers. But the reason for that is we're putting those nutrients back into the water so that the trees, the insects, the bald eagles, everything that's around there can benefit from those nutrients. Those salmon are coming from the squally fish hatcheries, and they're harvesting the eggs, and they're doing that whole salmon restoration piece. They used to just get rid of the bodies of the salmon, but now they freeze them, and then when it's time when they would naturally return back to the water, we're putting those back into the water so that those nutrients go back in instead of being wasteful.
Yeah, it's really cool. And one of the things that I noticed about your club is it's incredibly active with projects like that and others. Zoe, you mentioned some of these great projects you guys have done, some of these great activities you've done, and you've been in the club for 3 years. Annabelle, this is your first year in the club. I'm going to ask you both, what has been the most fun of all these kind of salmon carcass tossing and planting trees and testing water? What's been the most fun for both of you?
During like the tree planting, I like planting and like naming them. I remember in 6th grade, me and my friend, we named one like Douglas.
Great name.
And for like, I don't really like the salmon tossing one because it stinks and it's always so cold. But we usually like look in the water and find like the insects and learn about them, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, lots of places to learn. What about you, Annabelle? What's been your favorite?
So far, the tree planting one has definitely been my favorite. It's super fun to go out and you kind of get to go on your own. It's super fun to go out and you plant it, you hang out with your friends, and then you can name it. And then stuff like water quality testing was also fun because the area is just so pretty and you just kind of get to go explore and have fun with friends. And Miss Williams usually gives you hot hands afterwards, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Got to entice them to want to come back.
I love that. Well, Connor, hopefully for you, a tree will get named Connor this year, but Douglas, a fine, strong name for a tree. I love that. Aside from the field trips, and we'll stick with both of you students, when you're in the club but not out in the community doing work, what does that look like? What kind of activities do you do here in the classroom? We'll start with you, Annabelle.
During meetings, we can go over information, like for preparing for water quality testing, people will bring in water from that same area and we'll practice doing it and we'll still do the same information. And sometimes we just play games and we hang out, or we'll go over a slideshow about like our next field trip. And it's really fun. I do really enjoy going to the meeting.
I love that. Zoe, how about you?
Like before we do the salmon tossing field trip, we'll dissect the salmon and we'll like learn about like what's inside and how that works. And then when I did last year, my group had me pop out the eye and they cut it open and they broke like the little crystal thing, and it's like fun, and we go over information. Or we go outside during like when it's warmer and we restore our garden.
I love how hands-on it is. It's so cool. It's, you know, a lot of times you think of science and math and things like that as being kind of life of the mind, but you really can get your hands dirty. So Kim, you know, is there any pressure? You've been at this a while now and it's become an extremely popular club. Is there any pressure to kind of top yourself year in, year out? Or are you pretty satisfied just you've got these partnerships and you're doing these things?
I think we're pretty happy with where we're at right now. We've built it up so that it's consistent. Our partnerships are super strong. Our students know what to expect, and it is a really popular club, so we have probably over 90 applicants every year. They have to apply. We base it on their answers, and then we narrow it down. It used to be down to 25, but our principal is super supportive, so we were able to add an additional advisor and then bring it up to 50 kids because I just felt so horrible cutting that many kids from it. So we kind of look at things like answers, and it's about reflecting on how they can help their environment and their local community. It's thinking about, like, can they miss school? So if they're, you know, able to pass and have good grades, we don't want them missing if they're not passing their classes because they do miss some school for those field trips. One of the things that we have been working on the past few years is doing an outdoor schools overnight field trip. And that's kind of like the culminating thing at the end of the year. The kids look forward to it. They get to hang out with their friends. They get that like true camp experience. But it's all based on science education stuff too. There's some team building in there, community building, but also they're learning science while they're out there too. We, in the past, have gotten grants for that. This year, that grant didn't go through, so that's why the students have been raising money. So they really stepped up to do that this year. We've had local families donate money. It's just been really awesome and nice to see that we have that community support for that too.
And we've seen comments online about how popular it is and how everybody can't get in. It's a limited number of students. I love that you upped it to 50. That's fantastic. What kind of kids are in this club?
The kids in this club are all over the place. So we have all kinds of students, every type that you can think of. They have lots of different interests. Some of the kids are in it because they love science, and some of it are in it for the social aspects, which is fine too. Because I think that they can get benefits from the club, whether it's the love of science or just learning how to socialize properly and do good in their community and feel good about themselves. And I think they get the benefit either way.
For our final question, has the Science Club inspired your future plans after you cross the graduation stage? Are you a budding scientist, or is there something that you've learned here that's kind of changed your direction?
Well, since I was like little, I want to be a veterinarian, and then my mom told me I should join Science Club because it's like outdoor activities, and it hasn't like really changed much. But I've also been thinking about like marine biology, explore more of like the ocean and like test it more.
That's awesome. I love that path. My sister is a vet tech and has been for many years. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Pierce County Skills Center has a pre-veterinary technology program that you can go in as part of high school. So that's super cool. I love that path. Annabelle, how about you?
I am not interested in like doing many science things in my future. I want to do social work, but Science Club definitely has taught me how to come together with people and collaborate, work together, discuss stuff, how to like listen better and apply yourself to make sure you're doing the right thing. So I do think it has been really helpful in middle school and this year.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Kim Williams, Annabelle, and Zoe, good luck in high school in the fall. That's very exciting for you.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
And that's our time.
Yes, indeed. Thanks again, Kim Williams, Zoe, and Annabelle. We will be back next week with a brand new episode.